because I'm bad at developing.
This is an FTN News special report. We're currently waiting on the beginning of a Department of Defense press conference about a recent raid on Washington, D.C. conducted by the Ridgeway National Guard. We don't have all the details. This is very much a developing story. We should be. Very much a developing story. This
Somebody
is
gonna stream? You want to?
You're watching live coverage of this event here on FTN.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Secretary of Defense, Pete GPT. We have several topics to discuss tonight. First off, I want to address the recent events that have happened and gone down in DC today. We received reports there was apparently a raid from Ridgeway National Guard and other groups. The president did not declare martial law as of yet, but forces were deployed to the Pentagon base. The military as a whole was there to defend the base and secured the base in the past hour. My office, the Office of Secretary of Defense, is still monitoring the situation. We will host another conference tomorrow to go back and give more details on what happened in the following previous hours. The next subject we have is there have been some recent events in the United States Navy that have taken place. A few Navy SEALs have decided to leave the United States Navy and join the Coast Guard. These SEALs violated a direct order from the Office of the Secretary of Defense, which ordered that all transfers must be approved by the Secretary of the Navy, Chief Palpatine TGR. Subsequent discharges were not approved, nor was transfer request approved by any authority. So the SEALs currently are going to be court-martialed, convened by the Secretary of the Navy. We have reached out to the Department of Homeland Security to subsequently remove them from the Coast Guard group, and the Department of Homeland Security has so far placed them on suspension, but has not removed them from the Coast Guard group. Following this situation, we're still monitoring and hoping that we can come to a conclusion and get this situation handled with the Department of Homeland Security, and that the military courts will deliver justice. We'll now take some questions from the audience. Then someone bring him up.
Who did you need brought up?
Great Jakers.
To address the recent raid, and did you have any advance warning or knowledge or any intelligence about this raid whatsoever?
I cannot comment on if we had any intelligence on this matter. I can say that I have been briefed within the past hour on the situation. But I cannot provide any further details on this.
How do you feel
Anybody have any
about
questions?
how do you feel about the response to the raid? Do you feel like the resulting response was appropriate and was a success? Do you feel like we
Yes. A large force of military personnel were present at the Pentagon grounds and the subsequent base. I also know that there was a considerable force of Coast Guard online to assist and uh, make sure that DC was safe. As for other, we've been coordinating with other federal and local law enforcement to address the situation.
do you do you have any do you have anything to suggest that other raids might be coming?
Um, Currently, we do not have any information on that. Um, but if information does come up tonight or tomorrow, before we will address it at our next conference,
That'll be all.
which will be hosted tomorrow.
That'll be all from me.
All right, thank you. Next, let's bring up KJ Kirkman.
Hey, so do we have any insight if the president's going to convene a special session of Congress and declare war?
I do not have any information on that at this time.
What about any retaliatory actions?
There will likely be a meeting of senior defense officials in the coming days, and a report will be probably released tomorrow. Again, along with our press conference on appropriate actions, and the president, if such actions are deemed necessary, will likely give a statement of his own.
All right, thank you.
Next, can we bring up the Beetle one? And then after him, we can bring up Not Swag. I guess he left, so you can just bring up Not Swag.
Okay, well, my first question is, I guess, what is the president's next course of action after this?
Well, the president, we will meet with senior defense officials, and then, again, if the president deems a response to this, he will most likely give an address tomorrow, address to the nation, if such actions he deems are necessary.
And the other thing I wanted to say is that as a member of the House of Representatives myself, I will be talking with my colleagues to look into a formal declaration of war. So we will be looking into that after this. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. If anyone in the audience has questions, raise your hand. If nobody else has any more questions, I'll give some final remarks. We'll be continuing. Do you have a question?
Yeah. My question's for the person who said that you plan to declare war. Who was that?
That was a member of the House, Not Swag.
Is he still here?
Yes.
Who does he plan to declare war on?
I believe it would be Ridgeway, as that was the alleged force that invaded DC.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. If there is no more questions, I'll give some closing remarks, and if the chairman would like to speak. We'll continue to monitor the situation regarding the invaders at DC. we will host another press conference tomorrow, giving an update on the situation and a plan on how we will respond. The president, if he deems appropriate, will likely address the nation if he considers actions against the hostile invaders. Mr. Chairman, do you have any comments?
Not as of this time, Mr. Secretary.
All right. This is all for our press conference. Thank you all for showing up. It's quite late. So we'll end it here. And thanks to the group staff for letting us host it.
That'll be all from us at FTN News. Good night.